I told you my clothes are wet, please. I need to. Ain't no way you're turning on this AC right now.
All right, people.
Unless you have a blanket.
Vanessa, what are you saying? What's the temperature saying?
You have to decide and
I
vote.
get cold easily, so I'm with you. I like it when it's warm.
Sorry, you outnumbered. Thanks, girl.
To be fair, I get cold easily as well, but I don't know what's going on with the heating and my breathing and the...
I even think there's still a breeze in here.
It's lovely.
Like, if I could have the heating on right now, do you know what? It's honestly my clothes are actually drenched.
All right, no worries. I'll adjust. All right, so again, every day this month we've had amazing guests, heavy hitters, intelligent people that are really contributing to the community in various ways. These are not people who are just talking about things. They've been doing things for years. And today's guest is no different, right? She's an award-winning sustainability and impact executive, an entrepreneur, and the visionary behind Girls Talk Global, House on the Hill, and the Black Girls Tech Summit. Platforms that have connected and empowered over 60,000 women worldwide. 60,000. Her work has collaborated with brands like Apple, Beats by Dre, Meta, HSBC UK. She's been recognized by the Financial Times and Yahoo Finance as one of the top 15 ethnic minority future leaders. From parliament to boardrooms, Vanessa's mission has been clear: to build impactful work that drives real change, not just conversation. Today, we're going to be diving into Black brilliance, global change, the business of impact, and all things Vanessa Sanyauke. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for that. That was really nice, the intro.
You deserve it.
Thank
You know what I'm saying? But yes. Many people, obviously, myself included, right, wouldn't have heard about some of the things that you do, which is criminal, right? But for us who want to learn and know and get to know all this amazing stuff that you do, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I guess I would say what's been the common thread. So I've been in this space for like 18 years. So I started my first social enterprise when I was 20.
Wow.
So it was a mentoring program called the Rafiki Network. So I've always just been passionate about doing things for the community. So I was mentoring young people in South London. And then just throughout my like career, I've always like been in business, but the kind of impactful side. So that's just been what has driven me all these years.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why has that impactful side of you always come to the forefront? Why has that been the main focus?
I don't know. I think you're just born with it. So I think from an early age, if I see something that I feel needs to change, I will try and do something about it. I'm not someone that complains all the time or, I'm more of an activist. And I think it's just a calling for me.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what I do. I think I'll always be an activist at heart. So it's just been there from, since I was young.
So what exactly does impact mean to you, though? Because obviously to different people mean different things, right? But to you specifically, what does impact mean?
It just means making a difference. So I love business. I love working for myself. And at the time, I loved working in business. So my background was in banking. But I love using business to make a difference. And that's what impact means to me.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, yeah. I don't want to veer off too far just yet, yeah. But what you just said there stood out to me. You like using business to make an impact.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the type of government we have directly affects your ability to do exactly that?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Yes, it does.
Okay.
But from what I've realised, you can't, if you're trying to run a business that makes a difference, you can't rely on the government. So I'm very resilient because every government has their own agenda and you'll just forever keep having to change your business model. And I really, like, especially with my current business, I don't want to rely on government funding for it.
Yeah.
I've never applied for it because, like you said, if there's a change in government and you don't know the right people and they don't like you, your business can just go bust overnight.
Yeah.
So that's why our business model, we just focus on like getting money from businesses or sort of working with them as they are our clients rather than getting sort of government funding.
So, but you've actually worked in the government before, isn't it?
Yeah, at UK Parliament, yeah.
Okay, what was that like?
That was crazy. That was during Brexit, which was the most horrific time of my life, if I'm honest. It was 2 years of hell. It was a very toxic environment. So when I started, I worked closely with John Bercow at the time, who was the Speaker of the House. And it was also the time when there was a lot of sexual misconduct with MPs. And so that's what our team was there to do. We had to set up a policy. We had to work with MPs and teach them how to behave properly. And then it was a lot of change. So the Brexit period, there was MPs was like resigning, losing their jobs, ministers changing. The Prime Minister was changing every 5 minutes. So it was very stressful, and when you work at Parliament you have to be apolitical, so you can't vocally side with either party. You have to do your job. So it was really being silent for 2 years and just getting on with it.
So like obviously you're far removed from that now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I don't work at Parliament. That's been quite a long time. Yeah.
So was you truly apolitical, or was you trying to do a Machiavellian thing and
I mean, I've always been raised Labour, so I was Labour at heart. But I try in business. I try not to talk about my political views because everyone's so different. But I was just silent because I could lose my job if I sort of say I'm outly Labour. Yeah.
Obviously we ain't gonna talk about the politics too much, but I do want to ask you this because you are a business owner, right? With regards to how Labour's been running the government in the last year and a bit, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the budget that's about to come in November. Are you
Imagine that.
okay? Basically, yeah. I wanted to know what you thought.
Yeah, this budget, I'm really dreading it. And one of my friends, she's a Labour MP as well. Her name's Sam. So I do have a lot of friends who are in the Labour Party who are MPs, and I know what hell they inherited, right? So when you look at it, it was like 15 years of Tory madness. And so, if you imagine someone's just given you a massive, can of trash, it's like they're having to feed through that trash can. So I do appreciate it's not an easy task. They've only been in power for a year. But I also feel like they've had 15 years to think about their ideas, to think about a plan. And now they're in, I felt like they'd be more ready.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they're not prepared. And I am very nervous about this budget from a business owner's point of view. From what I'm hearing, Rachel Reeves is going to raise taxes. We just don't know where. And I feel quite nervous because I've got a mum who's retired, and there was sort of like some rumblings that she was going to come for pensioners, their pension, to tax that, their monthly payout. I invest as well in the stock market. She wants to come for stocks and ISA shares. Apparently, they think £500,000 is a lot for a flat. I live in London. They're looking at taxing you yearly. There's just a lot of things that make it uncertain, and I feel like in the UK, it's like they don't want you to excel. It's like they just want you to have nothing.
Agreed.
And I think that's what's frustrating. It's like a lot of us are in this building stage. And you just can't catch a break.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't try to present the other side of the argument, though, right? By the way, I'm fully on your side, right? But what about those who are not, I guess, benefiting from the so-called growing economy, right? Where the disparity between the so-called rich and the working class is getting bigger and bigger. Like, how do we solve that sort of issue? Do you feel like her hands are tied?
Her hands are tied, but the economy hasn't grown. I think it grew like 0.1% in the last quarter. You need businesses and you need high net worth individuals to stay in the UK for our economy to grow. And that's a priority. If our economy doesn't grow, then the people who are disadvantaged in society will never be able to move up, because the people that are being affected by her policies are small businesses or medium-sized businesses who are going to employ those. So I just feel like we're in a mess. We need to start with keeping people in business, keeping high net worth individuals in the country because they're pumping up the economy. And then we can give back to those who need it.
Okay. Demi, big up Demi. He says the stamp duty proposal is about shifting the burden from buyers to sellers, younger people to get a chance, which is also fair. What do you think about that?
I don't understand that because stamp duty, because
It's about shifting the burden from buyers to sellers.
How?
so if you're then once you buy the property, so shifting the burden from buyers to seller, but then even when you buy the property, then you become the owner.
Owner, yeah.
Because I think her proposal was to have a yearly. So if you have a property over 500,000. Instead of paying stamp duty, which I think he means,
Yeah.
you would pay maybe some type of tax or whatever, or she was saying a yearly fee. So like
Almost like a land tax.
it's like a service charge almost, or like you know when you have those leasehold flats, your ground rent like that.
Yeah.
So I think either way, the seller's going to become the owner. So I just feel like we're all screwed either way. I don't understand that point. Yeah.
Okay, TC says that's not fair though because the assumption is people who own are well off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been the assumption. It's ridiculous.
And you're not. You're still trying to, because getting a mortgage is your monthly payments are actually cheaper than if you're renting in London. So you're not
Yeah.
well off.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, one would argue, okay, of course, you'll need to have saved that money for the deposit and whatnot, right? But Demi says stamp duty is currently paid by buyers, i.e. there's a big lump sum which people can't afford. If it becomes yearly, it removes a big initial block which first-time buyers can't afford.
But I would challenge that because then getting a mortgage would be harder because then not only do you have to be able to afford your monthly, they're going to say, can you afford the yearly stamp duty?
100%.
So
There's always trade-offs, man.
it's
This
so
is what
hard.
people don't-
I think they should just do the first-time buyer, remove stamp duty, no matter what the price. So even if you're a first-time buyer and you're buying £1 million house, no stamp duty. I feel like that would be better.
But then people would then say, yeah, but then that's just there to benefit the rich. Because then you can give your deposits to your children if you're a rich person. And they can buy these huge properties and benefit from this and further, the divide will increase.
Yeah, but then it's like, I feel like the rich will always take advantage of the system. So,
It's facts.
yeah, but I just feel like say if you're like a first-time buyer in London, like a flat is like, they're like millions now.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you really rich?
This is the thing, man. I think people are still thinking in terms of how things were 20 years ago, 30 years ago even, you know what I'm saying? But things have definitely changed. And I remember I used to say on the show, like, conservatives, they've been bad, yeah? Generally speaking, for that 14, 13-year period. But it can be worse. It can be worse. And I wasn't confident. I was hoping that I would be wrong with Labour. It is early days. I still think it is early days. We need to give them their chance, right? Tories had 13, 14 years. They've only had a year and a bit. But I just don't think this is the right way to go about things. I just don't think it's the right way to go about things. But again, that's more politics and economics, right? But let's get into your business. You mentioned your business, right? Which business are you referring to? Because I know you got more than one business.
I sound like a confused person. I'm actually, and I was talking to Brent about this earlier, I'm actually just focused now on Girls Talk.
Okay.
And that's, in terms of going forward, that's going to be my main business. But so Girls Talk does produce the Black Girls Tech Summit. I also have a collective called House on the Hill, which I'll be doing. But Girls Talk is my main focus right now.
Okay, so is it almost like an umbrella sort of thing, right? And it kind of controls.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them why is it the other one?
Yeah, I was telling Brent earlier my interesting story about raising investment. So I have an app. It's still active called the Hill app, and essentially it's a platform. It's like a female LinkedIn. So if you're a female, you can go on there, create a profile, and companies can recruit female talent. You can build community with women, have different forums and groups to really just help women access jobs and develop their skill set. And I launched it 2023. I self-funded it, got some angel investors. And then, we had people on there, like clients like Snapchat was on there, Palantir, who are like a big American company. Major tech companies were on there. And then we started to do a fundraise for £500,000. 2 years, 85 no's. And then we got 2 yeses earlier this year. So we managed to get 2 investors, investor funds. One investor fund, one client of ours, said that they were going to match funds. So each put 250K
Sick.
in.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was announced in February and agreed. That orange man in the White House
Oh, man.
starts
Where you go?
anti-DEI policies.
Not too much in Trump. It's his best friend, man.
Your bestie.
No, this is
And we were in what they call due diligence, which is when they're looking at the checks, they're looking at the risk. And then we're about to sign the contract. And we had a German investor, because I do a lot of work in Germany and UK. And because of the Trump DEI policies, they were very nervous also about the economy. And they pulled out last minute. And because the UK fund pulled out, our German investor were like, well, we're not going to invest. So it was in April time that I found out. And yeah, I just decided, you know what? I just can't, I don't want to go on this journey anymore. It's 2 years and it's really hard. Like black women, we get 0.02% of investment.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was exhausted. And so I'm now just focusing on girls talk and just that ownership piece and just owning that business.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you.
Wow.
But that's going to, in some way, work out in your benefit.
I hope
Just
so.
watch. It
I
will.
hope
It
so.
will. It
I
will.
think Brent was saying keep it on the Apple Store. And I'm like, actually, okay, I'll just keep it because you never know. So it's still on there, but we haven't updated it, for a long time. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, tell people more about the Black Girls Tech Summit.
Black Girls Tech Summit started it in 2019. And it's just touching on my point. So if I see a problem, rather than complain, I'm just like, let me do something. So I noticed through my work, so Girls Talk, we work a lot with brands. We connect them to women, but we also help them recruit female talent. So when I was doing a lot of our events and programs and consulting, I realized that there wasn't enough black women in tech. And then I looked at the data. Black women make up 0.7% of all jobs in tech in the UK. And I just felt that was really, really bad. And then again, I was looking around, are there any conferences? So this was before we had Black Tech Fest. So we were actually the first summit that actually said, in terms of tech, we wanted to address the disparity. So we set up the Black Girls Tech Summit 2019 because I couldn't find anything else that existed, and started in London. So we had Meta sponsored the summit and LinkedIn. And it's just a whole day where we bring together black women who work in the ecosystem. And then it's just grown. We've had like 12,000 women. We've had like virtual and global events and different brands like Snapchat and Amazon sponsor. And then it's now expanded to Germany in Berlin. And so we're back now in Berlin next month.
Sick.
And we're just having one summit. So usually every year we have a couple.
Okay.
But, if I'm honest, all of my UK sponsors dropped out this year. And our German sponsors were like, we're still behind you. Let's just have one big summit in Germany. So we're bringing in speakers from the UK and also in Europe to come together in Germany on the 13th of November.
Come on, people.
Yes,
13th of November. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
13th of November.
Yep.
So, if you don't mind me asking it, why do you think the people from the UK dropped out?
They didn't really care to begin with. I think it was a tick boxing exercise. And so Donald Trump has just emboldened the system to say, do as you want.
Yeah.
And so that's the real truth. They never really cared about black women. And so that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Like, and I like your mentality where it's like, I see an issue, I'm going to fix it. And you're not begging the government, you're not trying to do this or trying to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're going to get situations like this where you actually see what they actually care about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even though it's a tick box exercise, I feel like even when they do tick those boxes, they don't put their all into it anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and they don't give you enough funding as well. The UK, if I told the difference, my German partner was like, what do you need? Tell us what you need. You're a black woman in business. We don't want you to go bust.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, it's like, we've got 2p, maybe 2.5p, and just scrimping and saving. Don't want to invest, and it's like, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
And you just get to a point where they don't want to invest enough. It's a tick box. Oh, we gave this organisation 2p, and then they want, BET awards, and they're giving you 2p. It's like, it's not going to work. Whereas in Germany, they're very much like, what do you need?
Yeah.
We've got your back. We're partners in this. And what's interesting is they're committed. They're like, we don't care about what Trump is doing.
Yep.
We're Germany, and this is how we do things, and we're always committed. And actually, in the EU, if we hadn't left Brexit, the UK companies would actually be breaking the law. They have to do it in the EU. If you don't have equality in your business, if you don't practice DEI, you'll get fined.
Wow.
So that's why the UK companies were like, we don't have to do it. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Do you think that Farage is going to be looking to overturn this particular DEI?
Overturn, no chance, man. You're gonna do the same thing? Yeah, definitely, definitely. But you know what the thing is, like, I know it may sound some sort of way, but it's pretty much to echo what I was just saying, right? I would prefer if somebody does something because they want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like you get better results rather than, yes, of course, the money can be used in it. You can use the money and whatnot. But like you're saying, they're only going to give you a tiny bit. To then say, yeah, we've done all this amazing stuff, to then reap the benefits of looking good in everyone's eyes.
Nah, you don't prefer that.
Why?
That's not ideal, especially when it's tipped so far into the favor of the just white privilege, isn't it?
Yeah, but I prefer for black people to do things.
You are cool. I hear that in an ideal world. That's now lovely, right? But that's not happening anytime
Why?
soon. It's not happening anytime soon.
Mm.
Unless it is, we collectively, start doing
sure.
this. But it's not. Let's just say, I come and ask you, Emmanuel. I've got 10 people wanting a job, all fantastic, and they're all black, mind you. And your particular company, you're living in this particular day and age where it's going to be seen as detrimental for you and your relationships with America to take that on. What are you doing?
Why would it be detrimental just to have them there?
As in looking to hire them?
Yeah. If they're good at their role, then, you know what I mean? Why is it detrimental just to have black people in my
But
business?
that's what the whole quote-unquote affirmative action and DEI stuff was all about before, right?
But I think it's more so about you guys don't have to do this anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? So therefore, okay, cool. I'm
But you said you'd prefer if, let's live in this particular world and let's see who will do and who won't do.
Yeah, because like having
Those 10 people, they ain't got no chance
Yeah.
to basically get hired by you.
Okay.
Because the person who is in charge of the hiring who's like, nah, I'm not interested in doing this.
So they're in charge of hiring in my company.
100%.
So what am I doing? Look, this how
To be honest,
this how
let me remove you from the situation.
Okay.
Because you would say I'm hiring all 10 of them.
No, I'll do what I can. Remember, it's still business, isn't it? It's not a charity, innit? So I still have to make sure I can hire them.
Yeah.
If I can, most definitely.
Yeah. If there was a white person that was more qualified, would you hire them? Since it's still
It depends.
business?
It depends on the role. And it depends on maybe how many.
So it's
black
possible?
people- Of course, it's possible. Yeah, of course.
So-
Remember, it's a business. We have to make things.
Question.
work. Go on. Yeah, go on.
For every single rung in your department, in your company,
Yeah.
right? You were presented with more qualified people that weren't black
Yeah.
than were.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I wouldn't hire all of them because I'll be also mindful of the fact that I want to give opportunities to people to learn and be in that position. And a lot of time you have to learn by experience.
All right, so it
You know what I'm
isn't just business for you. It really is.
No, but that's still
about-
business though to me. Do you know what I'm saying? That's still in the realm of business. How can I make this better by having somebody who thinks and relates to my experiences as a black man, right? Get into that position.
Yeah.
Like we've all seen them when we were young trying to get particular jobs. We couldn't get jobs because they always tell you ain't got no experience. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do we like eradicate that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I hope you applied that in the first time I asked you the question, and you said yes. I would. I hire.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about just a single incident. You know what I'm saying? But
Now
I'm
you're
being
talking about
mindful.
globally, your global company.
The whole company.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it might just be, for example, one particular thing that we need somebody who's done this particular thing before. And if it haven't, then we're still in the same mess.
Never be a world where your entire company is just like different folk other than black.
It could be, but remember, I'm black first though. I'm black first, and I don't make no apologies for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I think things should be. And I think if we live in a world where we have this DEI stuff thrown out the window and Trump and the people like the Farages of the world are there, I feel like at some point black people say and recognize we are all we have.
Is it
and
not?
then we'll do something.
Is it not a black business if you are an owner as opposed to your workers are black?
What do you mean? Say that again.
Is it not called a black business if is it you, the owner, are black?
If I am black,
Yeah.
and everyone's
As opposed
white.
it's still called a black business, right?
I don't know about that, you know.
All right then.
I don't know.
But
about
was-
that.
if the
isn't the
owner's
term
white-
a black-owned business though?
Say that again?
I said, isn't the term
It's true. I couldn't hear you.
isn't the term a black-owned business? So
Yeah.
if you are black, then do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
you own the business, then it's a black-owned business, even if your your congregation
I guess so. Yeah.
Or
I guess
white.
so. Yeah. I
or
guess
whatever.
So you could make it happen.
I could make what happen.
Because
Well, just owning a black business.
Because
Having
to
white
be a
business.
black business is you have all your white
Well, then that's not
workers. That's what you want to do.
Well, then that's not the black business.
Competent white workers. That's what you want, like, around here. You know, exactly. That's what you want.
This guy. Listen, again, black first, man. Do it for self.
I think I would hire some substandard blacks.
Why do they have to be
I would.
standard though?
In my example, I'm
Okay, cool.
this theoretical
Can I-
example.
but the thing is, I guess people think diversity and inclusion is just hiring anybody,
Yeah.
anyone because they're black, and it's not. It's about giving
Competent, yeah.
access.
Yes.
So you have the equal opportunity, but you still have to interview, because otherwise, then you're breaking the law. You're sort of doing discrimination. Positive discrimination
Yep.
is breaking the law. But it's about the issue why DEI existed was because black, and not just black people. Like, people think DEI is about black people, but it's LGBTQ plus, disabled, women, right? And then it's around, they wouldn't even get a shot. So it's like, you get a shot, but you still have to perform it
Yeah.
in the interview. And I think that's what people don't understand. They
Yeah.
think it's just, they're just letting in all the black people, and it's like, no, we just want an equal, shot.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree with you fully. Veronica asked a question. I appreciate your enlightenment. She's talking to you, of course.
Oh, thanks.
How do melanated women stay updated and connected?
On what? Just in generally?
That's such a general
Yeah.
question.
How do black women stay updated and connected on what we're doing?
Yeah.
I mean, come to Black Girls Tech Summit. So you can go on blackgirlstechsummit.com. That's where you can get tickets. And then you can just follow us on socials at Girls Talk. We have a newsletter. So you can subscribe on there. Yeah.
Obviously, as a black woman, right, that obviously feels as though, okay, cool, I want to kind of fix a particular issue here. I want to provide a solution. On finding the solution and actually rolling it out practically, are there other things you've learned about the needs of black women that maybe you didn't recognize initially?
Yeah, I think I didn't realize how much pain a lot of black women have been in.
Wow.
I see a lot of trauma. And I have to be very transparent with them. I can't hold that space.
Yeah.
And so I've had to recognize actually and say, do you know what? Your energy is not really what we need in this room, or I can't, when you're building community, you have to be careful of who you let in that space. And I think black women, we've been through so much trauma, so much PTSD that we have to pour into ourselves, sometimes take a step back, get the therapy, take, a rest and renewal, and then come back. That's what surprised me a lot, just how much black women have been through. And it's not just in the workplace, in our romantic relationships, in the home, in society. It's a lot. So I didn't really realize the scale in terms of like the emotional impact that black women are going through. Yeah.
How does that manifest with the events that you have for you to say, no, you're not allowed in because your energy is off?
Yeah, it's a lot because people out there. So, for example, we have Chatham House rules. We've got safe spaces where we've got small groups where black women are sharing their stories. And if you've got someone that's disruptive, that is rude, that is bringing this hostile energy, I'm doing a disservice as the person that's supposed to be responsible for the community. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes I've had to say, actually, just take a step back. You do it in a loving way, but just think, I don't think your energy is right. I don't think this is the right space for you. Just take a step back. And this is not for the summit specifically, but we have other communities. We have dinners.
Yeah.
So you just have to be very careful when it's like a small group of, people, of that energy.
Antonia Hansen says, are events always on a weekday?
Yes. Yeah.
And how often are the events?
It's not all the time. So like this summit is once a year. Our events, we have at least like one every quarter. The summit's a full day. Our other events are usually in the evenings after work, but we don't do weekends typically. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's a number of things. I think attendance is trickier at the weekends. And also a lot of our events, we partner with brands. Sometimes we'll take over their HQ to save on costs. It's more cheaper to rent a venue during the week than the weekend. So it's various reasons. Just for us, we just find weekdays are better. Yeah.
So if you don't mind, can you walk me through what it's like having a day at the summit?
Yeah. I mean, it's varied. So like in the mornings, we have just obviously like connecting. So it's very action packed, and because we're trying to get through a lot in the day, so we have like a mixture of like talks, fireside chats, panels, workshops. You can also like meet with our sponsors. So there's a Lando venue that we have. They've got like a big auditorium and then different breakout spaces. So how it typically works is, people come in the morning, there's breakfast, you can sort of connect with each other, and then we all go into like the main auditorium, and then we have their fireside chats, some panels, and I hate to call them panels, but they are. We last year we kind of changed the term to roundtable discussions, but we're trying to be different. So we do have like a panel, but it's more so a discussion. So we get the audience involved, and it's not just about people sitting there on stage and talking at you. It's more of a conversation, which is why I was talking about the energy in the room. People need to feel that it's a safe space for them, right? And then we have breakout sessions where people can talk about things like mental health, therapy, trauma in the workplace, and then upskilling. And then we have a big after party at the end. So like rice and peas, chicken, DJ, all of that fun stuff. And then sort of learning throughout the day. That's how it works.
Sick.
So, which summit did you do that you had Gina doing a workout class?
That wasn't mine. It might be somebody else.
Nah, I've just made this up.
He's saying it. I know. Brent is being Brent.
Sorry, I'm
She ain't never been in Germany before.
Gina's coming next year.
Brent is being Brent and is basically saying,
Come on.
Brent's been a manager. Love that.
I love that. Actually, we should talk because hopefully, I think we're going to do it again next year in Germany. And that's one of the things that we are always trying to look at, like the holistic health thing. So we'll have Gina 2026.
Come on.
Back it. I'm there.
I was too slow for that. It's too early.
That's right.
You know what? My question to you was going to be, is there, I guess, I've been to Germany once when I was in secondary school.
Yeah.
So I don't know I know there's a lot of Ghanaians in Germany, actually, to be fair, but is there like actually a big black...
Yeah, I can see her now. Yeah.
Jinx did say that she hides in the corner.
No,
I don't hide.
She's modelling,
I'm
and she's got her.
I'm just
angles
comfortable. I'm not being rude.
No,
You're the
no,
one
I
that's
can
put
see it, I
this
can
big
see
ass
it.
plant here.
But your setup is actually really nice. I like it. The plant is nice.
I'm not even hiding. I'm just here. But is there like a big black community in Germany?
You know what? It's massive.
I mean, there must be for you to do a summit there.
Yeah, it is massive, and it's big for diasporans.
Okay.
So there's lots of Ghanaians, lots of Nigerians, a lot of Zimbabweans. It is huge, and a lot of Caribbeans, so Jamaicans, Trinis. You'd be really surprised. So it's more so diasporans than, I guess, black people that were born in Germany. It's people that have moved and migrated. So and Berlin is one of my favorite places. I think the black community there, I would say, collaborate more with me. So there are people in the ecosystem where there's no competition between us.
Yeah.
It's if somebody's having an event in Germany, we support. And if I'm doing something, all of my counterparts are backing what we're doing. There's no funny business.
Yep.
It's so they've been really, really welcoming.
That's it.
To what we're doing.
Big up them, man. Big up them. I want us to go back a bit, to Girls Talk Global, right? So like you said, that's kind of like the umbrella sort of company, right?
Yeah.
And Black Girls Tech Summit is under that, right?
Yeah.
What other things are under, or do you plan to do under Girls Talk Global?
So we've kind of done a bit of a rebrand.
Okay.
So we're now looking at being, I guess, a content and storytelling sort of platform studio type business where we're able to help brands make authentic connections with women. So that's what we want to do. And then the vehicles that we do it is through event activation. So in real life, online events, and then it's looking at social media, campaigns, video, that side, and then doing some consulting. So like helping companies think about how they can kind of tap into the culture and sort of market their products to women who are based globally. So that's kind of the pockets.
Okay.
And then underneath that is the Black Girls Tech Summit. And then we do lots of like accelerator programs. So we've done like an academy with Beats by Dre and Apple. We've done academies with like brands like Virgin Media O2 and BT. So like upskilling. And then, so I've got a podcast. It was called the After Work Drinks Club, but I've now kind of rebranded it to the Vanessa podcast. So we'll kind of be doing like some podcasting and just kind of, I'm using this time now to just do things that actually I want to do, that my community is asking for. So anything that we feel needs to be addressed where we can fill in a gap, we'll do in some form.
How difficult is it to kind of manage running a successful business that's also a community building sort of business, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Where I guess the main thing wouldn't just be profit. Like, how do you manage all of those?
You have to just stay true to your mission. And I have to admit, I kind of got a bit lost because I left my job in 2021 to do Girls Talk full time, and you've got to pay the bills. And so there were times when I was a bit more skewed towards our brands because they're paying the bills. So a lot of our events were free. This is the first time we've actually even charged for the summit. So
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
How have you found transitioning from offering free events to then charging? Like, what was like your mental process like, and how has it been received by your community?
Good question. I just got to the point where I was really fed up. I think sometimes with community, especially the Black community, sometimes it can be seen as free, and then sometimes you do get the few that feel entitled. And what we found is we had to overbook so much because we would have a 70% dropout.
Because it was free.
And it's just really hard to manage. So we're ordering food and, we're having to pay for this and people just can't be, bothered to show up.
Yeah.
So I just got exhausted and I thought, I've been doing like events for 10 plus years. I've had enough now. You can pay. And even now it's like 40 euros to attend and you get so
All of
much.
those, yeah.
So it's just to make sure that because you've got some kind of financial contribution that you can attend. Some people are asking for discounts, for free codes. It sounds really harsh, but I have to kind of just realize I can't cater to everyone.
Yeah.
Those that see the value in what we're doing
Yeah.
will pay, and those are the people that I want in the room.
Yeah.
And so it's not been easy, but it's helped filter out the people that actually value what we're doing. Yeah.
I hear it.
Why do you think? I don't want to put out there that it's just a Black community, because I'm pretty sure in other communities it's a similar sort of thing, right? But obviously this is what we care about because that's what our main audience is.
Yeah.
But why do you think that's the case with us though? Why do we just see something that's free and be like, oh, okay, and not value it or not turn up or whatever,
No, but I
or
think
support?
with free events though, it's because there's no commitment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the moment when you decide to attend or whatever and commit, you can change your mind because you've not given anything away.
Exactly.
So if on the day you can't be bothered, you've not lost anything.
True.
Exactly.
You get what I mean? So I don't think free events is a race thing, because I think it's just events in general. Like whenever you do an event, if it's free, you are likely gonna have and 70% is normal. Like, and as much as in your head it sounds wild, but a 70% drop off is like what they would say for a free event. So it's just the way we are as humans. It's like unless you really want to go. Whereas if you pay, you're more likely going to go because you don't want to waste your money.
I remember, Izzy's got a question, but before I get there, I remember Marv said the same thing. Remember when Marv came on the show? Free Shots Marv, and he was talking about a particular thing, and he was like, yeah, do it, but charge. Make sure, because obviously from his experience, he's like, yo, if you don't charge, this sort of thing is going to happen, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what the reason why I asked that question is because I find it really hard to like price things for our community, because you have to consistently deal with trying to appease everyone.
Yeah.
And like, so let's take my events, for example, I can't, the next event I do, I can't charge what I've been charging. It just does not make any financial sense.
Yeah.
And if that's what I'm going to do, I might as well not do the event. If I'm being completely honest.
I feel you on
right?
that.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
And that's where I'm at. And like with the team, it's funny because they're just like, yo, like this is what we need to charge. And I'm still struggling to be like, okay, because I just know that it's going to come with backlash. It's going to, like, do you know what I mean? But they're like, then don't do it because you're doing it running at a loss or not making any profit. And like the amount of energy, effort and everything you're putting into doing an event is not worth it for you.
Yeah.
So are you going to continue doing that just because you want to like, you want to make everyone happy?
But you know what as well, Gina? It's like people are paying to have access to you. There is a value in that.
Yeah.
It's you and what you've put into your craft, into the industry, your skill, your talent. They have to pay to have access to you.
Vanessa,
You're a talented
she's heard this
person.
before.
No, but do you know what I mean? And I just
being
feel
polite
like
right now. Just
nobody should be able to have access to you.
And the
like
thing is,
that.
I hear it. And the reason why I get frustrated is because I see our community spend more money on things that don't give them much in
exactly.
return. So I always use the comparison of like day parties and stuff like that because they're quite popular in our community right now. And people pay like £40 plus to go to a day party just to have entry into the building, like just to be present. That doesn't come with anything else. But you're not going to complain about that. You're going to go because you're going to have a good time and it's going to be a vibe. But then when it's me, it's like, oh no, your event needs to come with this. We should get this. We should get this. And I'm just like...
but I've
stop. We have to stop. Like, for me, what I've said is, you know, and even this year, I was in a space where I was like, I just don't know if I want to do it. And then I was lucky that our partners in Germany are absolutely fantastic. But I just got to a place where I just said to my community, you either pay, I don't have to do this.
This is it.
I can go and get a job. I used to have a job that paid me very well.
Yeah.
I don't have to do this. And I have no shame in saying, you know what, let me go. So if you either pay or I don't do it at all. And you just have to really be quite strict with yourself because it's this entitlement. We have to, you know, if I, I love wigs. If the person who makes my wig is like, it's £300,
you're going to pay.
Because she'll look at me like,
you're not, this is. No,
I will pay. I'll find the money, but you can't pay €40 for me to help you. I'm helping you. My wig person, she will look me £300. And that's not even for a brand new wig. It is maybe to wash it and change the lace. And she'll look at me like, okay, bye, girl.
Yeah.
I will find that £300.
If you really want to go.
You can't find €40. €40 is, it's like a starter and a main at a restaurant.
Facts.
And you can't, and I always try and be respectful when I say, some people get offended, but I say, if €40 is too much, maybe you need to maybe prioritize getting yourself better financially. Maybe you can come next year. You know, maybe it's not the right time for you to be coming to an event like this if it's too much for you. But we do actually have hardship funds. So we have set some tickets aside for people who are refugees, who are students, who literally want to come, but cannot financially afford it. But those are limited. And again, we've had some drama with that, but then for everyone else you have to pay.
I have a question. I'm throwing it out there, right? Because I feel like someone in the chat might even know, or maybe you would know. Do you know if there's a platform, like a ticketing platform, that allows people to pay things in installments? You know, like a Klarna, right? But Klarna don't do events. Klarna just does clothes and stuff. Because I've looked into like having those options as another way. Because obviously for someone, like you might think, you know what, I can't spend all of this in one go. And to be honest, my tickets are not expensive.
I think
my tickets aren't even that expensive.
If you have
that,
to
but I'm just, because I'm just trying to like make it not seem
accessible.
And make it accessible. I've even considered, okay, what if like I try and find like a platform that allows people to pay in installments? I don't know if someone knows the answer. That's why I thought I'll just throw it out there and see.
I don't know. I think there's
or someone should build one.
My friend does retreats. She's American. And she has a platform on her website. I don't know what's the back end, but you can pay in installments. But those retreats are like $5,000.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think there might Eventbrite. I don't know. I'm sure they might have. Do you use Eventbrite?
I use Eventbrite, and I don't.
They haven't got
no.
that. I don't know why. Maybe not. Maybe then that's
Because again, it's I guess the value of what it is. Do you know what I mean? But then,
I always think, does Beyonce care?
You
Beyonce, she's like, Cowboy Carter's coming, £800. Take it or leave it. So I just feel like,
Is it that much?
yes, that's why I didn't go.
I've never gone, so
I was like, girl, I love
£800.
800, 500. Yeah, it was a lot, like 500 quid, 800 quid, like
On the stage?
for standing. Well, that was for the kind of the gold circle, but tickets for Beyonce, like the cheapest would be 300 quid.
I know somebody who asked me for a loan.
And what happened?
Please.
I said no.
For what? For
Beyonce
Beyonce?
ticket.
No. They asked me for a loan. I said no. This is not our relationship. But turn around. She's gone to Beyonce concert.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently people can pay via PayPal and use Pay in Free. Okay.
Oh, that's quite
Yes, you can.
Thanks, guys. That's actually very useful. Thank you.
But
I knew asking the public would help.
do you mind saying how much your tickets are?
It's not going to be, Emmanuel, I haven't even set a price, but it's not going to be more than £50.
And people want to do, respectfully, free.
Yeah. I'd have to, I know that it's going to be, I promise you,
Question though.
me putting out tickets for £50 is going to cause uproar. I promise you
Question,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And I like your idea. Just remove the luxury, right? Because obviously it's a luxury for a while and see if it is that they're fine with it.
What luxury?
The luxury of coming to your event.
Oh, like don't
of
do the
having
event.
you going.
No, because
do
do you know why?
Move it.
The
and
reason
see
why,
what happens.
the
to
reason
their
why I
fitness
say
and
this
whatnot. You
is
get me?
because it's a continuous, oh my gosh, when's the next big beat? Like, I get asked this question, like, every week without fail. Like, if I go to an event, if I go to a fitness event, and my response, you know what the response is? I always say, I'm like, guys, I need money, man. Like, I just, because I know what it takes to put on this event. And then also the problem is, I don't like being at the liberty of a sponsor. I don't like the fact that if I don't have a big, massive sponsor, I can't do the event. It doesn't make any sense. Do you get what I mean? So the only way to fix that problem is to increase the prices of my tickets.
£100 minimum.
Girl, they're not. Yeah.
No, but
They
you can't
will,
say,
Gina,
you
they've
can't-
got
you just
to.
say.
Yeah, stop doing that.
They've got to. Give them
Ah.
time. Give them time. Maybe say, okay, I'm taking next year. This time next year, you've got a year. Okay, £100, and it's going to be big. I'm sorry, but because I feel like fitness is so valuable.
No, but I think because when I think about it, yeah, I'm like, guys, let's take in like the day, like what you get.
Yes,
like you
what
even get a performer. Like if you were going to a concert on its own.
Exactly.
So when I think of all the things that people get, yeah, I always think, how do you think I put these like?
Do you know what you're doing?
I think
You're talking to and listening to people that will complain. There are other people who ain't going to complain.
And you know what, it's the ones that pay the least that
I
complain the most.
Because at my last one that I did in March, there was someone came up to me and she was just like, "This was so amazing. When's the next one?" And I laughed. She was like, "I don't get it. Like next month?" I was like, banter, funny. She was like, "What's the issue?" I was like, "It takes a lot to put on." She was like, "Okay." So just increase the price. Like she was so thinking about it, and she paid for a VIP ticket, so her ticket was even high. She was like, "I would pay for this every single month," and I was like, "Yeah, that's you."
But
But
then I feel
people
like
like
you need
that.
to find your community. And
Yeah.
I honestly, like, you know, I was where you are. I was battling with myself a lot, even with charging. I was thinking no one's gonna pay. And I'll tell you what, if I'm honest, I had to pay a lot to do like advertising. So I had to work with a marketing agency to redo our branding, do a bit more targeted ads. So it is more work to find that community. But I feel like I've found the tribe that will value the work. So there will be some costs in terms of maybe letting a lot of the old community go.
Yeah.
But then you'll be bringing in new people
it.
who'll pay. Like you have to just like find the people who will
Even
pay.
if they're
I would
white.
pay 100 if I was given notice. So say if it was like at least 6 months, I would pay £100 to have like, you know, half a day. There's you, there's a performer, and I'm also like meeting other like-minded women. I know you have like loads of like stations, and I would pay that if I had notice. Goodie bag.
Yeah. And that's what, and again, like all the things you're saying is what people get in it. So I feel like,
Come on.
yeah, I know I'm the problem. I know I'm the problem.
Yeah. So, question: are you sure that the people that you're talking about are the same people who will go and buy a Beyonce ticket?
You, me personally.
Yeah, the same people you're saying that wouldn't pay the little 40, 50,
Yeah.
100 are the same people that will go and buy a Beyonce ticket. I don't know who your audience base is. Do you understand?
It's mixed. That's the thing, right? So it's mixed. There are gonna be people who are going, because like I said, I sell VIP tickets and people buy the VIP tickets. So there's definitely people that are willing to spend that. I think you're right. Maybe I'm just listening to the noise of the minority and seeing them as the majority. And I'm allowing that to get to me. To be honest, I'm going to be so honest, it has to be done regardless. I can't, I'm at that point now where my back is against the wall. I can't not increase the price anyway. So it's going to have to happen. It's just going to be very interesting to see what the outcome is. And
the worst thing that can happen.
We'll just go from there.
Worst thing that can happen is that you half the amount of people, but you still get the same amount of money.
Or more.
You get more. You'll get more and less stress.
That's it.
Yeah, fair.
And then from there, it'll just continue to rise.
It's scary, but I don't regret it because I know, and I had a balance. So you might want to do some, maybe people that are part of your community, giving them discount codes
But do you know what? Someone said this to me, and this is when I was like, you know what? You're right. They were like, but Gina, you do monthly events that cost £10. So you do things you have things that are accessible. So not everything you do has to be accessible. Exactly. So it's not like you're not catering for people on a lower level. When I say lower level, on a lower price point level. Yeah. So I don't get what the issue is, and I was just like, fair.
Most times you have to kind of shame them into open the pocket. So have a £10 area, right?
No.
You don't go down there.
Down there where you can't see behind the pillar.
You can go walk out and everything. This over here.
Watch from a screen.
They don't want to be there and look over there.
But if you think about it, how much do you invest? And I've had this where I do a lot of consulting and I do a lot of training for leaders. So these are leaders who are vice presidents, directors, at board level. And I had this other day where I have a certain fee for what I would charge to speak corporate or workshops. And there was a client that I because they signed up to the app, I kind of let them have a couple of workshops for free, just, to kind of get them on side. And then the lady had booked me for a workshop, but didn't ask my price. So I just said to her, just to let you know, you comfortable with this price? And then she was like, what, is that for 3 workshops? And I was like, no, that's for 1. And they didn't want to go forward with it. And what I learned was I wasn't going to budge. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it for 3. It's 1. And you just get to a point now where I'm just very much, I've put in, what she didn't realize was my fee is the years that I've got of experience. I have to develop myself and train myself and read books, and because I had given her I'm sure she'll steal it, but I kind of had given her a little bit of a syllabus and a book and reading. I have to read academic books. I subscribe to the FT because I have to know what's going on in business. All of those things I have to do so that when I'm training people, when I'm even looking at how we can market and all that stuff with corporates, I know what I'm talking about. All of those years, working in Parliament for 2 years, all of that comes at a cost. And so it's going back to you, Gina, how much have you spent to develop yourself, your craft? You just did your Pilates training. That's not cheap. People don't see that side around how much you have to invest to do what you do well. You constantly have to keep bettering yourself. And they think it just comes at no price or cost. And I just got to a place now where I just thought, again, I can get a job. Go away. If you don't want to pay for what my value is, then don't work with me at all. The time is now done. And that's why I think with a lot of black women, we are burnt out. We have a lot of trauma because we're doing so much free labor for everyone. And we're not here to pander to everyone. We have to pour into ourselves. 100%. But it's not easy because I was like, oh God, it's a risk. But I know that people who are working with me, they value me.
That's it.
That's really important.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they know the returns they get, you know what I'm saying, for their money. And I think that's something you have to keep showing as well. All your videos showing how amazing a day it is and all that sort of stuff. People want to be involved, man.
Yeah. The thing is, I know that there's a value and there's a value of return. I don't know anyone who's come who's not left and has had a bad, obviously people are always going to give you constructive criticism, but it's always things that either are not within our control or do you know what I mean? It's never really the main part of what actually happens and stuff. So,
and that's just normal.
I believe also that they look at you and your branded gams and just assume that in the event was help. Got help. Is that
No,
so
100%. No,
not wearing those particular.
no. The thing is, so like, even for example, like, this is so great. I feel like I can talk about stuff.
Come on, you can. You ain't contracted, baby.
That's our fault. So I went to an event on Thursday, and so it was for a different fitness brand on Active. And when I was there, a lot of the girls I was talking to, and they were just talking about beats and bands and how they've always wanted to come, but they can't come because they obviously work for Honor, and Honor's obviously a competitor to Gymshark. And I was just like, but it's not a Gymshark event. And they were like, what do you mean it's not a Gymshark event? I said, Gymshark don't own beats and bands. It's my event.
See?
Shut up. Oh my gosh. And I got really annoyed because I thought, oh my gosh, like.
Look, right now she sat there, you know.
Yeah, in Gymshark, because I don't
work for them.
I don't work for Gym. Yes, I know, but you know what? No,
promoting them.
Let me explain.
Where's the beat and band guy?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen, yeah. So I hear what you're saying, but I think what you also need to understand, Brent, yeah.
Take a leaf off the Facebook. Look what he's doing. You see?
You know what I'm saying?
No, but this morning, yeah, I went to do that, right? But basically, the coat, where the coat is, it's not. It's in a bag.
He's behind all of the gym shop.
You know what I'm
And I was already stressed. Just I was like, I just need to grab something and go. But I planned to this morning, and anyway, my point is, what you need to understand, yeah, is remember for the last 5 years of my life, it is all I've worn. So the amount of clothes I have, like, I can't just tomorrow stop wearing them because now I no longer work for them. I get it, because obviously now I don't work for you anymore, so you don't deserve the free promo. But my wardrobe is 99.99999% Gymshark.
Mental.
And I also...
She's on a roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't wear anything else. I wear athleisure wear every day. Like, I don't...
Where is the beats and bands athleisure? Come on, man. Where's it just jeans?
I mean, 2026.
Come on.
You can buy it at the event.
Thank you.
But my point is, we working on it, okay?
It's coming.
But, yes.
You know, there was a time when somebody approached me and asked me if I work for Emmanuel.
Why?
Vomited.
Why?
I vomited.
Why?
Because obviously, they see him all the time, innit?
Yeah.
They see him all the time.
I hear it.
Speak it into existence. Words have power.
I hear it.
Words have power.
I vomited. I just walked away. I didn't respond to
Yeah,
them.
that's because you're
I
here.
didn't respond to them.
But yes. Anyway.
We have a whole set of questions that we're not even to put. So please, let's run through them. Right, first one.
Okay, Izzy. He says, it seems black women are doing as good or better in corporate spaces than black men. Is this true or just perception? And does it change what equality looks like for black women?
I've had this debate with black men in particular. So the recent data, it's American, but it kind of does equate with what's going on in the UK. So in the workforce, 300,000 black women have left the corporate workforce in July and August. So because of the Trump's anti-DEI policies and just the state of the economy, black women have been the most affected group. So when you look at the data, is black women we are more educated, than black men. And in some cases, yes, when you get into the corporate space, we do out-earn men at a higher level. But then the disparities can then come further down when we look at our pensions and investments, because sometimes we take time off for childcare and things like that. So I feel like it kind of goes up in terms of up and down in terms of the data.
Yeah.
But I think it's about perception. People think, yeah, we are doing well as black women, but we're still facing a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
I always argue it is easier for black men, which is why I think sometimes there can be a lot of friction because you just have one barrier, which is your race. Whereas black women, we've got that intersectional barrier of being not only black but a female. So it is harder for us in some occasions, to excel.
Okay, thank you for that.
All right, next question.
Big up Max. He says, "Hi Vanessa, thank you for sharing with us. What role did you play in the development of your app, and how did you go from concept to MVP without funding? Thanks."
Okay, it's very challenging. I had a CTO, so a chief technology officer, who is very experienced. So he used to work at Sky and BBC and literally worked with me for free because he believed in the vision. So he managed our engineers. So an agency based in Serbia actually built our app.
Oh, sick.
So I didn't do anything on the technical side. My role was just to get the money in and make sure that the vision was achieved. I did have some angels, so a couple of angels who invested in our MVP, and then I put in most of my savings to develop the app. So it costs a lot to build an app. It's not a cheap thing to do. To get we started on a mobile app, so where you can download it from Apple and Google Play, and that's more expensive than a web app, which you can only access on the internet. So building a web app is much more cheaper. But building a mobile app is so expensive because you have to be responsive and has to work on phones globally. So it's much more expensive. Yeah.
Next question.
It's from Ed. What's a myth or assumption about entrepreneurship in tech that you've had to debunk through your own journey, and how did you prove it wrong?
There's a couple of things. I think people think to work in tech, you've got to be a white male tech bro. And I'm a black woman, a solo founder. And the myth was that we wouldn't succeed, that we don't know what we're doing. That's kind of one of the big myths. And it's something that you're never going to break it. I just have to keep going. That's the honest truth. It's always going to be there. The stigma is always going to be there. I think the mistake I made is I did have my CTO was a white man. I should have got a white male who I just said was a co-founder and was just a silent person. I would have maybe closed my round quicker and would have raised investment. So I think we have to understand racism ain't going nowhere. The system is racist. The anti-black, anti-female. Don't make it harder. I made it harder for myself. If I could do it again, I would get a white male co-founder and just save myself the stress. Yeah.
Strategy, guys. Strategy.
Yeah, you've got to be strategic.
All right. Next question. Ed again.
I did this.
Okay, cool.
No, I didn't. Here you go.
Ed says, what's a piece of advice you received early in your career, good or bad, that you still think about, and how has it shaped your decisions?
What's a good piece of advice I received early in my career? Good piece of advice.
Or bad?
Do you know what? I've had a lot of... I'd say early in my career when I was starting out, I had some black man who I'm still quite salty to this day, but I was trying to sort of get funding for or get corporate support for my first social enterprise. And he was just very patronizing and was saying, you're an underdog, you're not there yet. All of these people that we support and that we work with, they are polished and they do this and that, and you don't do any of that. And if I'd listened to this idiot, I wouldn't be where I am. And those people that he supports, they're not in business. And to be honest, even when I ended up then working in corporate. And to be honest, I got to a senior level quicker than he's still in his role.
There you go.
And I had got there quicker. And so I think people can see your light before you can. And I think there was a bit of resentment and him wanting to bring me down. And so when people are giving you advice, be very, very careful. Right. And it works both ways. In terms of people praising you, don't take it to heart. And when people are saying negative things, because there could be an agenda, they may see something in you that's shining bright and they just want to dim your light. So that was one of the pieces of bad advice that I'm so glad I just thought, you're a fool. I was quite young. I just thought, this guy's an idiot. And I don't give him a time of day now.
Oh, okay. We can't say his name then. All right, cool.
No, I won't say his name. But he knows who he is and he feels shame.
And unfortunately, he was one of us, isn't it?
Well, yeah, black man.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? I don't know. Brent. In fact, let me throw it to Brent. Brent can obviously choose to say what he wants to say or not.
You know why you've asked me? Because I talk. So, go on.
Not only that, it's because everything she said happened, remember?
Yes.
Exactly. Can you touch on a couple of things or not at all?
Very stupid.
A couple?
Go on, share.
Speak very generally. Just generally.
So, early days of TMB, we've gone to friendly investors. This guy. I can't say all of them. I can't say all of them.
No, of course not. just say. Anyway, go on.
I definitely can't say all of them.
Yeah.
Crazy. Obviously, I am wide-eyed, bright-eyed, looking to basically get advice from wherever. My mom a creative, being creative 24/7. Don't know about this corporate entrepreneurial life. You understand? So anyway, it's a good thing to hear advice from people who've done it, right? Not in my field, but mind you, not in an area in which it is they don't understand or see any value in, right? But they come on, they've got fantastic successful businesses and they know what they're talking about, obviously. So anyway, one of them said, okay, focus on one of the 3 verticals because you have 3 businesses that you are pitching, right? The studio, just focus on the studio for hire, right? Second one, podcast network, just focus on creating original content, right? Or the distribution platform, just focus on the tech part, right? Everybody's like plowing money into tech, just focus on that. Build a little MVP and get it cracking. Forget about trying to migrate people from this to that without any sort of story and cultural movement behind it. Forget about all of that. Just go for the tech. So anyway, I'm like, cool.
Thanks.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll get back to that just now. Second one, the second one didn't like how I spoke.
What do you mean? Your enthusiasm and confidence.
No, wait, I haven't finished. That was the first one. I haven't finished. He started laughing, so I stopped. Didn't like how I spoke to them in response to their advice. I said, thank you, but I'm not listening. Do you understand?
That is a Brent thing.
However, that particular person had ulterior
Motives.
Yeah. And
yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Though. The fact is, that's the parallel, isn't it?
Yeah.
When somebody was, you know what I mean?
all right, go.
You ain't finished.
No. Another one said, oh, lovely idea, but instead use my friend's business to record your content. The friend was the founder of Pirate Studios, right? I should have gone patronize somebody else's bloody business. I have a studio. You understand? But again, this is what I'm hearing. And all the thing is just stop doing that, right? Now, I had to tell these mother effers, I currently have a studio that I could have 7 different podcasts rolling through there in a day, right? And we can use YouTube as our vehicle to broadcast, right? So I have a studio, which is the first vertical. During the day, 7 particular podcasts. That's 7 shows I could have in that studio. And me using YouTube as the broadcast vehicle, that's my distribution platform. All I'm saying is, I want to expand the thing I'm already flipping doing. The fact that you can't see that this project is incestuous is not my problem. Do you understand? Now, as God is my witness, I thought I was being logical in my responses. But obviously, I was hearing so much rubbish. So I was communicating that. Yeah. They didn't like it. It was too brash. You understand? But just imagine if it is I had listened to any one of them. One of them has now spun the block.
After everything's happening.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, but you know that's... Can I be honest? Do you know why I even rate that, yeah? Because some people out of pride won't even spin the block.
Yeah.
So I have to respect you coming with your tail between your legs. But obviously, he's going to come out of cast.
Yeah, nice.
But then I feel like that's sometimes the ecosystem. We don't always support someone at the beginning of their journey. And then once maybe they get this validation, it's like, oh, he's doing bits. They see what you're doing. Oh, yeah, now let's back them. Whereas when you're trying to sell the vision, they can't see it.
Yeah.
And so I think you just have to kind of just stay on the course. And yeah.
Do you have time for those people? Because
I am very petty. I'm like my father. Very, very petty. So if you don't believe in me, if you are shady, if you're rude to me, I will forgive, but I won't forget. And I'm very petty. I will not give you the time of the day. I really don't. And I do remember people that don't believe in me. I know you should be like, right, it's above, but I don't forget. And I wouldn't give them a time of day unless you're bringing me coins. If you're not bringing me money, no.
Is that a Zim thing?
I think it's the Zim thing or my father's village people. I don't know, one of those things. But we're very petty people. Yeah.
Fair. All right, next question.
Yes. Ed says, how do you handle the weight of sometimes being the only one able to represent your demo in the room?
So I guess you're talking about the app. Or is it your demographic?
Yeah, demographic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do I've always been, because I sat on a board once. On a previous role of mine, I was on the exec board, a global board, and I was the only black person in the room and the only black female. So I was at a law firm, and I was their global head of corporate responsibility, and that was awful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was very, 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 very tough. Like, mentally, people don't really want to listen to what you've got to say. They don't respect you. They don't value your opinion. So how do you deal with that? You just have to really make sure that you're looking after your mental health. So I at that time went to therapy, and practical things like just making sure that you are prepared. You know what you're going to say, having the agenda, just making sure that you say something is really, really important. But understanding that the bias is always going to be there. They are going to look at you like, what's she doing here? You don't belong here. But you also have to understand that a lot of these people are not necessarily smarter than you.
Yeah.
They don't know everything. They just pretend to know everything. I mean, one of my, he's a friend now, but we were both, so he was the chief tech officer and I was global head of my department, and we were like really good friends. But he was one of those white guys who has lots of black friends and very much. And so we would just like, he became like my ally. So if I wanted to say something, he'd kind of bring me in. So it's just finding that ally in the room that can kind of back you in a way and that understands this is a racist environment. This is what happens. If you can find that one ally, they will also, and ask them, look, can you just bring me in on this point when we're having this meeting? That makes it easier. So like those things. But it's tough. Yeah.
All right. Brilliant answer. Okay, Veronica says, I've RSVP'd for the Step Up webinar.
Oh, that's good. See you next week.
Come on. Do you have to pay for that?
It's free. That one's free.
Make sure.
The webinar.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you dial in. That one is free.
All right.
Yeah, I'm getting kudos for that, Vanessa. Veronica, sorry. Anyway.
So Ed says, what's some practical steps you'd recommend to young women starting out in the field to build their confidence in coding, pitching ideas, or entering tech spaces in general?
You just have to start pitching. It's one of those things. The more you do it, the better you become. I mean, I can't even remember my first pitch. I've done 85. I track them on a database. And I can't even remember my first pitch. You just have to get started, know you're going to make mistakes, practice. So like I would practice my pitches in front of everyone that I knew, and I'd get feedback. And just know that developing confidence is a muscle. It's not something that you're born with. I had very low confidence, maybe even sort of 7 years ago. And I've had to kind of grow into my confidence now. So I think it's just being patient with yourself and knowing, let me just get out there and just know the first time I pitch something, it's going to be rubbish. But just the more you do it, the better it becomes.
Amazing.
All right.
Got another question from Ed. He says, what support system or resource, mentor, community, or personal practice, etc., has helped you stay grounded when facing misogyny in tech? And how can young women find or create similar?
Support systems, I think, I call them friendtors. So these are like friends who are mentors to me. So I have a lot of friends who had their own businesses, who've maybe raised investment before. And I, check in with them on a regular basis, meeting up with them, WhatsApping them, and just check and just asking them like, is this normal, or I had a bad day today. That's my support system. So it's like finding your tribe, but you have to be very careful. Not everyone's gonna. Some people are fishing for information. So I'll caveat with find trusted and safe people that you can really like share with, who are in your space, but have discernment about who they are. And that's literally my support system. And just those who are closest to me, like my mum, my best friends, and just leaning on them. That's really what it is. And then I guess the other thing is just things that you might have heard before, but it's having friend-tours, people who you admire that are your friends, but also things like, what do you need? It sounds really silly, but sleep is so important. Like rest. People think it's around meditation and doing sound baths and yoga. Just getting sleep. That's going to support you and keep you in that mental space. Getting good sleep is really important. Like the basic things, rest, renewal, having a break, and having a hobby. I think when you have a business, I used to get, and I am consumed by my business, but I'm now trying to find things outside of that. So one of my biggest passion points, and if you follow me on Instagram or socials, you'll know, is wine. So my family live in South Africa. Even though I'm from Zim, a lot of my mum's family are in South Africa. And so I've been getting into wine. So I do a lot of like profiling black vineyards, black winemakers. So that's kind of like something that I'm into. So I go to different wine events and research wine. So like find a hobby, something that you're interested in to kind of have outside of your space. Yeah, it's important.
Outside of drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
What are your other
Exactly.
hobbies?
You need wine. You need wine.
What are your other hobbies? What are your other hobbies?
Outside of, okay, can I just say, wine is not just drinking alcohol. There's an art to wine in terms of how the wine is made. There's a science, okay? Right? It's not just about drinking wine. You have to know the different types. And I've got a very good palate. And that takes skill.
All right, talk to us. Break it down for us.
So, yeah, you have to have a good, like, nose. So, like, know what notes are in the wine. Like, is it pear? Is it apple? Is it a Pinot Noir? Is it... So, there's an art to it. It's not just drinking rum. It's more than that.
Sorry.
But outside of wine, I've now gotten into, like, my fitness. So, going to the gym for me is really, like, it's a must now. It was 18 months ago, I never used to go to the gym. So that's why I'm just so like passionate about, again, going back to Gina, there's so much value in terms of like just giving me an outlet. So like gym, fitness, and finding like community. So I like to kind of like try like whatever new workouts there are, and things like that, like kind of the retreat wellness stuff. So if there's anything, an event which is about maybe like a retreat or wellness or fitness, I'm kind of like leaning into that. I know it's not a hobby per se, because I'm not very good at like sports. Like I paddle no, tennis no, football. I do love football actually.
Okay.
So I'm a big Arsenal supporter.
Come on.
Amazing.
So if I do have time to watch the football, I do get into that. So yeah, football, fitness, wine, those are my hobbies, and reading. I'm a bit of a reading. Yeah, I love reading. So I'm trying to find like more time. So I've got like a book club. And again, I kicked out loads of people because we had literally 40 people start doing the book club. I don't charge for it because it's a hobby.
Yeah.
And they weren't reading the books. And I was just like, you know what? You're really spoiling this hobby for me. Get out. So it's a small group of us now. So I have a book club. So I'm trying to do things outside.
How often do you guys meet?
So like once every couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do you all ever look to do like joint book club? I don't know what it is. You know how
Collaborations?
Yeah, not even collaborations, but what would we do together if it is that we had something that wasn't competing, but it was the same thing, and then we would come, just a football match.
Okay.
I got a football match. I got a football team. You got a football team. We got together and play.
Yeah.
You know what I would think would be really cool, and I would do this as a hobby, if there was some kind of podcast or something where, I don't know, you would talk about books, because books come out all the time. Authors are bringing out books all the time. Something like that where you're kind of like, maybe somebody has a podcast or a platform, but I had the book club coming together. That's what I'd be interested
Wonderful.
in.
I'm just trying to plug Gina just to get me.
Oh, I see.
She has a book club, and they do it more frequently than you do it.
Yeah.
So if it is that you are looking to just get rid of the rest of them and actually still want to,
They wouldn't turn up. They wouldn't turn up. But that's why they got kicked out for a reason.
That's not good.
And the reason why it's once every 2 months is because it's a hobby. If I did it every month, it'd be too much pressure, and then it becomes like a job, and that sounds like work. So this is a hobby where it's a few of us, and we're based all over the world as well, and we do it at our pace.
Nice.
That sounds like a job. Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Sorry. That sounds stressful.
Well, what sort of books do you guys read then?
A mixture, so like non-fiction but fiction. So this current choice is a fiction book.
Okay.
But we mix it up. Yeah, we mix it up. So I've got like Kelechi's book, Edge of Here. We did that, which was fantastic.
Sick.
And so yeah, we mix it up, and we like black female writers. So the last book we had was Dream Count, Chimamanda Adichie.
Okay.
Yeah, so we mix it up. Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't want no one else to join. I'm like, this is a hobby, because you get frustrated when we're especially. Sometimes when you just do things for free, like I'm saying, and then it's a hobby, and then it becomes work. So I'm just like, this is my thing that I enjoy with people that I know are like serious. Yeah.
All right, that's it.
And the last comment that's completely unrelated to what we're talking about.
Yeah, Ghana Greatness. Big up Ghana Greatness. Still waiting for the TMB merch as well. Okay.
Why have I looked to favorite this comment right now?
Because you like to start trouble.
That's not.
I was joking. Because it's coming soon, man.
Keep saying that.
It's coming real soon.
Why are you saying it's real soon?
Because it's around the corner. It's around the corner. You know what I'm saying?
This is part of the reason as to why is that there was no sleep during the weekend. You get me? We're understanding. Well, we were well aware that cuffing season is here, isn't it? And y'all are looking for warm garments.
Yes.
Yeah, the cuff.
That is so funny. I just see the comments. When it comes to drink, Zim people are the Jamaicans of Africa.
No, you lot are, you know.
We are. I'm not going to lie.
I've got to do what I was saying.
I am not going to lie. I am not going to lie. I
don't like the energy in this room.
Serious?
I can drink. I can drink. And literally, it's like my family, we can drink. And then our parents would be up in the morning for church, 7 a.m., like praise and worship. And it was so funny. I went to South Africa last year. And when I landed early in the morning. And I was booking an Airbnb for this trip, and it wasn't ready. So they have a restaurant downstairs. So I thought, this was 9 o'clock in the morning. So I thought, let me get some breakfast. My people, Zimbabweans, sitting next to me, beer, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Zim, we will drink any time of the day. Like, so we can drink. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, we can.
Well,
but I don't drink in the morning, I have to just say. I had a coffee. I drink past 12.
Okay, so you
my
do
car.
like a 12:30 lunch.
Yeah, lunch, I'll have a glass of wine.
If you were here earlier, you would have seen a little bottle.
She's like, I had some wine. I had some wine.
Do you know what? I went for a hike yesterday, and some of the girls were drinking wine on the hike.
Oh God, it
so
defeats
funny.
the purpose.
Like, it was actually hilarious.
Insane.
I'm not that bad. But I love that comment. Yeah, we can drink.
From the bottle?
No, they had the bottle and then cups. So as we were walking up, they were just drinking wine.
For fuel.
Yeah, literally.
Well done.
And it's before 12.
Diabolical work. I do want to ask you a question about Black Girls Tech Summit, right? And just, I guess, business in general, right? There will be people out there right now who basically at the ideation stage. And you've obviously taken Black Girls Tech Summit from ideation to where it's being globally recognized. 37 different countries you've collected women from, right? How did you take it from that stage where it was just an idea to something that we see today?
My biggest piece of advice for anyone, and what I did was I was filling a gap. I think what some people do is they'll go to an event and they'll be like, oh, this is great. I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's like it's already been done. And the reason why we're able to be sustainable is we were actually filling a gap.
Yeah.
And that's how I've been able to sustain it. So I looked around because I was like, is there any events that are taking place for Black women in tech? And couldn't see any. So I started that. And that's why it resonated, because there wasn't anything like it. And that's why we had... we started in 2019. The next year was the pandemic, so we went virtual, and that's when we had women from America, Ghana, Dubai, even India, all over the world saying, this is a space that's needed.
Yeah.
And that's how we've been able to grow. So I would just say it's really important to make sure you're not just, you see something cool and you just think, oh, I want a piece of that. It's how can you create something that's needed?
Yeah.
That's how it's been able to grow. It's just been really authentic and organic. Yeah.
I guess that's the reason why any business is successful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like providing a solution to an issue.
Exactly. And I see too many people jumping on bandwagons, right? And thinking, oh, this is the cool thing to do. And then you're not really passionate about it. You don't really care. And it shows. I see, and if I'm kind of being harsh, I see a lot of people that when I was working in DEI, I've been in this space for 18 years. We didn't even have a name for it.
Wow.
And then, people will see you going into certain spaces or getting awards and they'll say, oh, I want to do what she's doing because she's been up in this place and you're doing it for vanity metrics. A lot of people want to have a photo on stage, but they look like somebody and they don't want to do the work. There's a lot of work that goes on in this space. A lot of people think, you guys just turn up and there's a mic. Brent's here. There's a production. You have your script.
Yeah.
There's so much work that goes on. But because they see, okay, you're doing something, they want to copy what you're doing because it looks cool and looks easy.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a lot of work. So you should do something that you're really committed to.
Yeah.
As I mentioned to you this year, all of our sponsors in the UK pulled out.
Yeah.
So when that happens, are you still going to keep continuing?
Yeah.
That's something that you have to kind of bear in mind. So that for me has been really, really, really important.
Powerful. You did mention the Vanessa podcast, right?
Yes.
You're still doing that, right?
Yes, I am.
So,
Yeah.
so what exactly is that about? And is that are you inviting only female guests, or is that like what's the whole thing?
So actually, it started out as the After Work Drinks Club. And I started it 2021 and actually did well. So got to number 4 on the business chart, which was quite interesting. Which was really good. But with the After Work Drinks Club, essentially it was where I would interview people that were inspirational or authors, entrepreneurs, people in the film industry who had really interesting stories to find out how they got to where they have and how our listeners can do the same. But like all podcasts, or 95% of them, 20 episodes, and it was hard. And I stopped when I was in the middle of running a business.
Yeah.
And so it was really hard to be consistent. I would stop, start. And then this year, the years just went by and I hadn't done any episodes. And I thought, okay, I really want to be committed.
Yeah.
And then I kind of thought, okay, I've kind of evolved from After Work Drinks Club. I don't want to be tied to a particular kind of podcasting format. So then I rebranded to the Vanessa podcast because I don't know if she's my friend actually. This goes back to the advice. Somebody in my network was like, well, why are you calling it the Vanessa podcast? You should just call it, the Hill podcast, because it's only people like Oprah that can have, their name as a podcast. It's quite arrogant of you. And the only reason why was when I searched the Vanessa podcast, nobody had that name. Yeah. Like I searched on Apple, searched it, the domain name, and then I thought if I have it as the Vanessa podcast, I can change the format easily. And so I sort of restarted that in May. And essentially I put out episodes bi-weekly and it's just around having conversations on business and the economy. So it's not just for women, for anyone, anywhere in the world, where we can kind of have conversations around business and economics, and sort of making it digestible and then sort of hearing different people's perspectives on their journey and things like that.
Okay, that's my type of podcast then. All right.
Yes, so please do.
Okay. When it comes to actually structuring your business, so in terms of the time you allocate, the type of people that you bring on in the team, how do you manage all of that stuff? And how do you, on a day-to-day, run everything?
I used to have people on payroll. That's too much responsibility for me. It's too much pressure for me.
Yeah.
Being responsible for people's bills and everything is a lot. Yeah. So how I structure my team is I call them experts. So they cost more, but I work with them on a project basis.
Okay.
So I have a team of consultants. So these are individuals who are experts in certain fields. So it's, I work with a lady who's amazing at event management. I work with another colleague who's really big in terms of who's really skilled, in terms of community and partnership. So I work with consultants on a project basis, and that just takes the stress away. There's nothing more stressful than thinking, how am I going to make payroll? And then you just make the wrong choices based on money. And so that's what I do. And now I'm focused more on charging more. So saying no to the brands that only have 2p and just saying, sorry, but thank you, but no thanks. And only working now with companies that actually are, willing to spend, because that means that you're able to actually produce the best work. So that's how I kind of manage my team and my time. And hiring is no joke. Managing people is very tough. I always say, like, you should fire fast. So, even if I'm working with a consultant and it's not working, I just say get rid of them ASAP. It's not easy. I don't like getting rid of people. I'm quite it's emotional. It's really sad. But get rid of people quickly. And I've had team members as well who, even though we're all kind of we're working on different projects, we do have calls where everyone comes together so they know the direction of the business and where we're going. I've had in the past that one negative person that's spreading, that's spreading negativity around. Got rid of them quickly. Fire anyone that's, spreading this negativity, that's trying to put people in a negative space. Because when you're a small business, you can't risk that type of energy coming into your business. So I think it's just firing fast, having a team of experts is really, really important. Yeah, but I've made so many mistakes. Like even earlier this year with my podcast, I had to part ways with one of my editors. And it's not easy, but you just have to make those hard choices and just focus on people that make your life easier. Yeah.
All right, so you're big on energy. Why are you still sitting there? Go! God damn it.
What's happened?
Don't listen to him.
Okay.
He has to take a delivery.
Oh.
I think he actually sent me a delivery woman. Go then. Anyway, so
I'm too slow for this. Sorry.
That's all right. So you begin NG, right? And obviously you used to be a corporate babe, and now you're not a corporate babe. You're focusing on your entrepreneurial path and this, that, and next. What's it been like navigating this particular dating field?
I knew.
I knew the ghetto.
Gonna go.
And now I'm gonna upset people.
You have to answer.
It's the ghetto.
Okay.
It is the absolute ghetto. And I've just had to make peace. Maybe God is like, there are some women who are never gonna get married, and I'm just like, God, if that's your will for me, let it be done, because I can't anymore.
Serious?
Yeah, I just cannot. The dating scene is a pool of.
When you say ghetto, what does that mean? I hear people saying this all the time. What does that mean?
I think your viewers know. Ghetto, it's the ghetto. The ghetto, it's white refrigerators. It's the ghetto.
You have so much going for yourself.
That's the problem.
Oh, it's too much.
That's the problem. It's difficult for a man to, I guess, come into your life and they see you're doing so many different things. They get intimidated. And I've tried. So I attract younger guys in their 20s.
Come on.
I'm 38, and I tried younger, and it's not worked out. I've tried 10 years older. There's no difference in how they behave.
Serious?
No
Identical.
difference. Absolutely identical. I've tried, guys in their 20s. I've tried guys who are nearly 50, and I'm telling you, it's all the same.
What does that behavior look like? This identical behavior?
You know what it is? A lot of women, right? We've done the work. I've gone to therapy. I'm working on myself physically, emotionally. As women, especially black women, we're doing a lot of internal work. Sadly, I think with black men, and I think that's why it was so amazing that you had Marvin. People like him are trying to get black men to do more inner work, right?
Which Marvin are we talking about?
Marvin Harrison?
Thank you very much.
Yes. Oh,
Just so
Why
that's
did
clear.
why did you think she was talking about Marv Abbey, please?
absolutely not him. Not
Can we
him.
talk about the videographer? We talk about
Not Marvin Marvin
Talking
Harrison.
about Marv Brown, come on.
And so it's important. And my friend Ed also has a community called Reset.
shout out Ed.
Ed, yeah, and also one of my best friends, her husband is Nathaniel, is one of very few black male therapists, and they are doing such incredible work to counsel black men, and that is the problem. I've done the work, and I'm meeting men who haven't done the work emotionally, And then that's why it's not working. And I think as a community, that's why there's a mismatch. But again, it's like, okay, you meet a guy. A guy has approached me. I've swapped numbers with him. So why are you texting me? How was your day? How was your day? How was your day? I'm 38. My day has been fine for 38 years. When are we meeting?
Come and do something with my day.
Thank you. When are we meeting? And where? That's what I want to know. I don't want how was your day every freaking day, you know? There's no plans. It's like men are just, and I don't want to generalize the men that I am meeting. Yeah, how was your day? How was your day? Block. After a week, block. Right? How was your day? No.
Hello.
That's what I'm seeing. And then it's like, I think, and then also I've had some guys, this is an interesting story. So that an older guy that I was dating, he's nearly 50. I'm actually going to his birthday party next week. So we're still friends.
Come on.
A German guy. And, but he's very busy. He was very busy.
How German?
Cut the bike.
Very German, but actually I joke with him and say he's black. He loves so many different cultures.
No, I'm so done with what's happening in this environment. Like, she hasn't clocked.
What is it happening?
Wait. Vanessa, you've been having problems with all demographics?
When you said German, they both paused, yeah. And I know they want to know, when they said how German is he, it's just, is he black?
He's not black, but it's not, okay, I'm not going to say it's me, but I'm just giving examples.
Pick him up.
Yeah. You asked me about my dating.
Get out of here, not yeah.
He is a white German. But again, it's like, I think it's like different communication styles. So it's like, he said he doesn't like to be on the phone, whereas I've dated a black guy recently and he's like, I don't like to text, I like to call. So it's difficult. What I'm trying to say is it's difficult when you've got people that like different communication styles. It's not just that person's bad. Like, people are not bad people.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find the person that's right for you. Yeah.
So are you a call? You like to be on a call sort of thing, or texters?
I'm a voice note person. I don't like calls per se. I just think it just takes up too much time. I feel like when we're getting to know each other, so if I'm dating, I prefer maybe just texting to start off with. But then it's like, okay, when you get past that second date and you're just texting, then I just think, okay, that's a bit, it's just, it's difficult. What am I not getting? Gina, tell me what's going on.
Nothing, nothing. Everything's fine now.
Yeah, apparently he's already switched off because he knows that you like white women.
No. I have to be honest with you. That's the only white man I've dated. Okay, the rest have been black. I have to just say do you know what? I was at my wit's end. I thought, you know what? Let me just try.
You divested.
She's back, man.
Evidently.
And I'm back. I'm back to the streets. No.
Oh my God.
I'm literally, this is a joke, but before I get cancelled. But no, like I think for me, the message that I do want to get across is I think it's important to diversify, right? And be open. Yeah. So I was open and just thought, you know what, let me just try someone from a different background, different culture, because you never know. And black men do it all the time. Black men do it all the time. You would date Latinos, Vietnamese, Chinese, Indian. But when black women do it, it's very much like, oh, she's gone. No, I think we should all, be open.
I think you all should do it more often.
Huh?
I think you all should do it more often.
Oh, date outside.
Show black men that I'll show you.
Well, yeah, we are desired by other races, but, it's difficult. Dating is difficult now. I think pre-pandemic, this is why my advice to my nieces is they're in their early 20s and I say, find your husband at uni. Otherwise, it ain't going to happen. A lot of my friends who are married found their husbands at uni. All of us that didn't are struggling.
So what were you doing at uni?
I had boyfriends at the time, but I kind of was like, I didn't want to get too serious because I felt, okay, I'm young, I still want to do things. Whereas I think I should have maybe focused a bit more on my love life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even at uni?
Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah. Because it's just difficult when you're a bit more established. Like when you're at uni, you're building together, right? And you've got someone that's seen you through the challenges and you know that they are there for you, they're invested. Whereas now when you're in your 30s, and, you know, in your 40s, for example, and you're dating, you're both maybe a bit more established, you're both set in your ways. It's harder.
So you focused on your career in uni and you're saying that was the mistake.
Yeah, it's a big mistake.
Interesting.
I say to these young
That's the
girls,
clip.
find your husband in your 20s. If you want to get married. If you don't want to get married, then do your thing. But if marriage is very important for you, find your partner in your 20s.
Forget about climbing the ladder.
No, you can do both, but prioritize that.
Wait,
Prioritize that.
hold on. How am I in it? How can someone say, Gina, sorry?
You can see that. You can see that.
It's here. I'm watching it here.
Why are you thinking Gina was here?
No, let me say Gina in deep thought. No, I'm just thinking. No.
The person said Gina, sorry. Why?
Yeah, Gina, sorry. And then Black woman said Gina in deep thought. Gina was praying. Okay, you
I don't know what.
calm down. Like, how am I in it? Yeah.
What are the comments saying?
Never
She
mind.
was here and there.
Basically,
Don't mind
they're
them,
saying
man.
that
Never mind.
based on what you're saying, it's too late for me. Essentially.
No. It's not too late because I have hope. I'm a believer. I do think God's will is God's will, and I've surrendered and said, okay, because not everyone's purpose in life is to get married. So I surrender to God's will for my life, but I desire to get married and I want to have kids. So I actively go to a women's health doctor every single year. I invest in that. Like, I do want to have kids, but it's much harder. So what I'm saying is, it is much harder. If you have found a good guy in your 20s and you love him, he respects you and treats you well, hold on to him. That's what I'm saying. Because it is much harder when you're older. It's not impossible. I'm just saying it's much harder. Yeah.
Advice, guys. Advice. This is good advice, I think.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not easy. And again,
Not,
with
man.
kids, I mean, my friends are like, oh, you know, we our kids give us hell. But, you know, being a mum in your 40s and dealing with the night feed, I'd rather have gotten that shit out the way than now I'm going to start, you know, I could have been on a cruise in 5 years' time. My kids would have been at university, right? And it's now I'm going to be, you know, changing nappies. That's the choice, and that's how my life has gone. But I just think if you do have the opportunity to find a good guy in your 20s, I would just say, girl, hold on, because what's out there it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't want to bash anyone, but it's hard.
But I reckon that there are quite a few good men still out there that you may not find like desirable.
No, I mean I've done it. I've done it all. I've done
every single demographic of man is just terrible.
No, I'm just saying people say maybe it's your type. I've dated not my type and they've been wizards. So I might as well date my type.
Wait a minute.
No, she's right.
I might as well date my
I've done
type.
that
Be
too.
a wizard and I'm
What's
like
a wizard?
a male witch.
So obviously he was Trinidadian.
I've not gone there yet.
So what was he?
I'm not bashing any particular nationality.
No, he wasn't, man. He definitely was not a Nigerian. Big up the Yorubas out there. You know what I'm saying? Big up the
The
Yorubas.
body language is giving it all away, man.
Nah, man. Listen, let's stop the slander. Let's get back to global talk. I even got it wrong.
All right.
All right, cool. So anyway, with regards to business, right?
Thank you.
What would you say is one mistake or lesson that's completely changed your approach to business now? I feel like you kind of touched on that, but
One mistake.
it's made you change direction in terms of like, your approach to doing things.
I think if I'm honest, with the whole app thing, I was jumping on what I thought I should do. I thought, okay, if I'm serious, I need to start a tech business. And I wish I'd never done that, to be honest. I'm grateful for the experience, but that's not who I am. And I've done a lot of work this year to figure out what is it that I love to do. And I'm very creative. I love events. I love community stuff. And that's what I want to do. Being a tech entrepreneur is not what I wanted to do, but I thought that's the way to, you know, build legacy. That's the way to have a proper business. And I was jumping on the bandwagon. And so I would say the mistake I would tell people to avoid is don't jump on trends. Everyone was jumping on this AI trend and now it's fizzling out. So just really stay true to what it is that you want to do.
Do you think AI is fizzling out?
Yeah, in terms of like the investment space. So there was data recently in the news that was saying that for investment, so the government was investing, billions in AI. But the return on the investment's not really being seen yet. So AI was a trend, but now it's fizzling out. So a lot of investors now, they're not prioritizing. If you have AI in your deck, they won't even look at it now.
Serious?
Yeah, they're literally like, no, we've done that. We've seen no returns. Because AI is expensive. If you look at OpenAI, I think their valuation was like 60 billion last year.
Yeah.
And they raised 6 billion and they are OpenAI.
Wow.
Right? To have a really impactful AI business, you need billions. So you're not going to do it with a 500k raise.
Yeah.
But that's what investors were doing, chucking 500k here, 1 million here, and you can't keep up.
Yeah.
So I think that's why jumping on that trend, you actually realize you're never going to get to where you need to be because you need billions. Yeah.
Black Rob.
Yeah,
he says, I'm at an AI conference right now. It's best smoke and mirrors.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Demi says, yep, AI bubble's going to burst soon. A lot of AI companies are overvalued.
Yeah. And we had that discussion, and I'm grateful. Our CTO, that's why he was the best of the best. And he was like, we just don't go down that AI road.
Serious?
He said, we're not going to do anything with AI because we just don't have enough money for it. And I was very, sort of clear in my messaging. We don't have any desire to be an AI powered platform. And this is what we're doing. Yeah, because now it's just smoke and mirrors.
Is it more so a situation where the biggest companies have already kind of taken the majority of the space and really it's just them that's going to thrive and everybody else is...
It's like Facebook.
Yeah.
How long has Facebook been around? Have we really seen a contender? Snapchat has only started making a profit. Twitter's down the drain. And Meta owns all the other platforms. TikTok's now going down the drain because they're being now owned in the US. So it's like the Meta. OpenAI is the dominant player. Like you've got OpenAI, you've got Claude, and you've got Microsoft and Perplexity. Those are the 4 AI companies. They're going to dominate. And everything else is just going to be micro. So that's what I just think it's just not worth it.
A bit of a stocks and shares question for you. So, for somebody who feels like AI is the future, right? Because I'm not too sure if you're just saying it's not the future. It's just those particular areas, right? What sort of areas should people be looking to invest in, potentially, not financial advice, that these bigger companies would rely on so that you can make something on your investment?
I would say, and this is getting a financial advisor. I have a financial advisor, and what they do for me is they manage a portfolio for my investments. So I invest in different companies and they have people in their companies that know what's going on. I think it's a big risk if you and your gut are just like, oh, I like Tesla. Let me put all my money in Tesla versus somebody who's there every day seeing what's new. So I diversify. Cool. One fund that I do invest in is the S&P 500 because over the time, it's like the top 500 companies and it does, returns in 20 years and it's very stable. So I would just say get someone who knows what the trends are. I think if it was 10 years ago, I would say a tech fund would be really great. But actually, it's like those old boring companies, pharmaceuticals, manufacturing, in some industries like China, those kind of boring businesses are the ones that are really going to have lots of returns. Even like renewable energies, it's a defunct industry, like climate. It's just, it's a no-starter now. So I just feel like those asset classes like gold is another one that's reliable. So I feel like going back to the basic boring ones, you're not going to go wrong. Yeah.
Shout out Clive.
Yeah.
What's this?
You said shout out Clive. Clive is someone that we've had on the show twice. He basically deals with gold.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a big amount.
Yeah.
Okay. Max has a question. What literature are you reading to stay up to date in the tech space? So what has been the most impactful book or article on the tech industry for you?
That's a good question. I would say the publications. Every morning, I listen to FT News, their podcast, Daily Briefing. It's 10 minutes, and it just gives you a snapshot of what's going on in the business world. And I had to do that when I was at Parliament, and then when I worked in the financial services, I did that as a general thing. So FT, the Financial Times, if you can get a subscription for the online. That's what I read religiously, like every morning. The Economist is quite expensive. I used to get the print edition, but you can get the online. So the Economist is very much in-depth detail around the economy. And again, in the tech space, the Economist and Financial Times report on what's happening. And the third publication, I would say, is the Business Insider.
Okay.
They do a lot around tech. So I would just say those 3 publications. Harvard Business Review is a really good, you can get like 2 free articles a month, but it's subscription. That's more around like tech, but it's more so around academic research. So I just cover everything. And I think the most impactful, I wouldn't say there's one. I feel like a lot of my stuff has to be data driven. So Harvard Business Review has been really good in terms of like giving me data. So I would say like articles from there are really good. Yeah.
Okay. Dope. A lot of the gems that you get from all these outlets and stuff, people can obviously hear you disseminate that on the Vanessa podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vanessa podcast, people.
Yeah, I break
Vanessa
it down.
podcast.
Yeah, I break down like what's happening in the like economical and finance news.
Come on.
And what's going on in the world, and so that people are aware in terms of like stock markets and business. Yeah. So
Sick.
I'm passionate about that.
Good. I wanted to ask you though, in terms of like measuring success, and maybe it might be different for the different business ventures you're in, but how do you measure success? How do you walk away from an event and say to yourself, yeah, we did it? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the scale, the amount of people that come there, the profit, the impact? What does impact look like in terms of, the success of it?
I think it's important. I think nowadays you do have bums on seats, which is why we moved to the pay model. So I think it's important that, yes, you do have a full event. And then the second thing is the feedback. So the impact is, what has been the feedback? Have people, what difference has it made? So after our events, people will come up to me and say, how they found it, but also later on, it's that, when you look at social media, what are people posting? Some people have said that they've met their best friend at some of our events. And so that's what you wanted to see, people building community. Some people are like, this is the first time I've spoken publicly at an event, and I feel like I'm building up myself. That's the kind of impact that you want, people's lives actually like changing from at least going to your event and then sort of being that spark.
And what can the average person get from your event? Because I remember we had Ashley from Black Tech Fest.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, innit, Ben? Big him up as well, and the whole of Black Tech Fest and Colouring Tech. But he was talking about people can go there, people actually get jobs and stuff. Like, is that a similar sort of thing that can happen at your summit?
I wouldn't say. I don't know what model they have. No one really does like on the spot hiring. But people have connected with employers and built meaningful connections. And we do things like interview pods, where we've hosted interviews on the day for women of colour that can interview for some of our partners. And so people have been offered like internships and jobs from there. So that, you can get a job or at least an interview, connect with recruiters, I'd say, from attending our events. But I saw on TikTok that some people were kind of criticising, like, I won't say the name, but it's a business show for black people in the UK. And sort of criticising and saying, I didn't really get anything from this event. They've had this in the US where Afrotech and Essence Festival got criticised. And I think you have to be realistic with what you're going to get out from an event. Your life's not going to necessarily like change dramatically from one day's event, but you have to make sure that you are strategic with your time, understanding who's going to be in the room, who do you want to talk to, what do you want to get out of an event.
That's it.
It is your responsibility. It's not mine. My responsibility is to provide programming, to give you access to the speakers, to give you access to a community, to give you access to these corporates. It's now up to you to plan your day accordingly to get the most. I think it's really unfair. People say, it's the same types of conversations. And I said to somebody, that's great. So if you feel like we've only got one big black business show, why don't you set up a gap? Maybe there's space for a micro event or a micro community.
Yep.
Instead of sitting there complaining, maybe this is something that if you feel like, oh, there's a need for smaller initiatives, why don't you set that up?
That's it.
Yeah, so you have to be kind of very strategic when you go to our summits, I would say.
Okay, sick. Max says, do you have any takes or thoughts in the crypto space?
If it's not regulated, I'm not investing.
Serious?
Yeah, it's not regulated yet. Until it does become regulated, then I would. But it's too risky for me. Yeah.
Makes sense though. I hear you. I hear you. But I guess that is the biggest pro for somebody who loves crypto, that it's not regulated.
It is, but it's also too late.
You feel-
If a crypto coin is what, 30K? Bitcoin is 30K. Whereas if you invested earlier, my friend was one of the early adopters.
Not more than that now.
When Bitcoin was so cheap, they're the ones that are making money. So with these spaces, you have to get in really early. Otherwise, there's no point getting into it now, unless you've got loads of money. Unless you're a millionaire, maybe chuck some money in crypto. But if you're like me, I don't have extensive resources. So I've got to be really careful with where I put my money. I wouldn't put it in crypto.
To be fair, like if Bitcoin was 30K today, like you'd be happy to jump in. Right now, I think it's like $110,000.
I never last. I checked.
100,000?
I saw 30. I don't know. Maybe it's gone up.
Yeah. It's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So then that's
mad.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we do unfortunately have to wrap up soon. Yeah. But I do want to ask you this question because obviously I know you are somebody who's diligent, who's working hard, and your businesses, everything that you touch, will blossom, right, and
Amen.
thrive.
Thank you.
But as it gets bigger and bigger and grows, how do you, I guess, plan to put things in place to ensure that you maintain that authenticity? Because that sometimes is what is a casualty with growth.
I think I have to accept the fact that I'm gonna lose it at some point. It's like you can still keep common threads of it, but I think the bigger you get, you can't always have the authentic connections that you had at the beginning, if that makes sense. There's a little bit of sacrifice there. I think it's just important to not like deviate entirely from your mission. So I've kind of made sure that I'm clear on what my mission is and I'm flexible in terms of how that looks. And I'm comfortable with, as you grow, it might change over time. And be comfortable with pivoting and moving in a different space. I think it's just trying to sort of make sure that your mission is the same. But it's a bit hard, I think, as you scale, to kind of really be authentic. I think it's interesting when somebody was saying this, but in the UK, it's like we love it when someone's like struggling and broke. And then the minute that they become successful, we're like, oh, they've lost it. They're not relatable. They're not this and they're not that. And it's like, it's difficult.
Yeah, it can't
It's
be
difficult.
difficult, man.
Yeah, you can't always be in the same space that you were before. You have to kind of like evolve over time. So I think it's just making sure that my values don't, like, I'm not scamming people, I'm not being degrading. As long as my values don't change, I'm comfortable with growing and evolving. I think it's important not to try and understand that, we're talking about pricing earlier. I'm comfortable with some people that don't want to be part of the journey, and that's fine because I'll be able to pick up new people along the journey.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing conversation.
Thank you
you
for
so
having
much
me. I've had a
for
good time.
joining us. I'm glad you have had a good time, and Brent hasn't been too much of a maniac. He tends to be a maniac.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Today, to be fair.
He has been.
This is quite civilized.
What do you have changed?
Changed, yeah. I've said.
Big up the changes in the room.
I've done the work.
There you go. But yeah, man. Where can the people find you?
Instagram and TikTok. So like my handle, I think, is on the
Yep.
thing, but at Vanessa Sanyuake. So on TikTok and Instagram are my main platforms. And then the Vanessa podcast is on YouTube and on Apple and Spotify as well. So they can subscribe to that.
Dope. People, please support this amazing woman's work. She's putting in time, effort, money, and she's been doing so for almost 20 years, guys. 18 years, connecting 60,000 black women across the world, 37 different countries. It's not a small feat, man. So we have to give credit where credit is due. We appreciate you coming once again.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll come back again.
I would love to.
Alright, dope.
It was good vibes. I'm a bit slow with you. Now I'm trying to cotton on. Now I know.
Now you know you do.
Now I know who I'm dealing with. I'm gonna be more switched on.
All right, cool.
Next time I have some wine for you, don't worry.
Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, we can have some wine in here.
All right, Brent. I think we've got some more headlines.